Thanks. Yeah, Minister, I asked you at committee stage about the projections for corporate pre-tax gross profits of the corporations, and I did actually get the note. I just realised I found. So, and to be honest, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's more. I mean, Deputy Barry just estimated what it might be, but it's way in excess of that. I mean, this is newsworthy. I don't know if you put this out, Minister, but Jeannie Mac. So, the Minister is estimating that gross pre-tax corporate profits for 2022 were €348 billion. That is astonishing. Astonishing. And to put that in perspective, that increase from the last available figures for 2020 that Deputy Barry just quoted, where the figure 2 years ago was 193 billion. So, we have had a jump of, let me just do the maths here, more than 150 billion in 2 years. Increase in profits. And that from the year 2012 to 2020, which were the figures I was working on with our pre-budget submission, we had seen a jump from 74 billion to 193 billion. That's a 157% increase in profits in 8 years. But now it has taken another jump, and I haven't even done the percentage calculation, but it has jumped another 150 billion in 2 years. I mean, that is just unbelievable. So we have seen a bonanza like there has never been a bonanza before in corporate profitability. And that has accelerated at a simply extraordinary rate just in the last 2 years. Bearing in mind, these are the 2 years when ordinary working people were crushed with the cost of living increase. Crushed with it. Where ordinary workers have lost between what, 4,000 and 6,000 euro in real terms in the value of their income. Because of corporations jacking up prices. Energy corporations, pharmaceutical corporations, all the big IT companies and so on, and you can go through the list, jacking up prices to reach these simply dizzying levels of profitability. And, again, Deputy Barry is slightly understating the degree of tax relief that these corporations are getting. In 2020, on 193 billion profits, pre-tax, 11 billion was paid in tax, which is 6.1%. 6.1%, not 8%, not 10%, not 12.5%, 6.1%. I haven't worked out the percentage for the new figures the Minister has just given us, but what I can tell you is, if the Minister is projecting that he is going to get 21 billion euro in tax, and he is estimating that that's based on pre-tax profits of 348 billion, if they were paying 12.5%, never mind 15%, never mind 20%, never mind 25%, they would be paying 40.8 billion in tax. So you can work it out more or less yourself. They're paying between 5 and 6% tax on their pre-tax profits. That's what they're actually paying. Now that is shocking and shameful. So we could almost double the corporate tax revenue if we just made them pay a minimum effective rate of 12.5%. In my opinion, it should go right up. They should be paying at least the level of taxation that the average worker is expected to pay on their income. But couldn't we even just make them pay the 12.5? And we would have an extra €20 billion available. Imagine what that could do for the housing crisis. Imagine what that could do for the resourcing and staffing of our health service. Imagine what it could do for public transport, for higher education, for wages for workers, for all of the impacts of the cost of living crisis, the cost of housing. Quite frankly, it's staggering. But this is never really talked about, and as Deputy Barry indicated, the government's only argument really is, well, if you did that, they'd all run away. Now, you may have noticed that they're starting to run away in terms of the jobs anyway, and it's got nothing to do with the tax measures taken by the government, and it's got everything to do with international events which have nothing to do with our tax policy. And to do with the fact that actually they had a disproportionate wealth and, you know, what would I call them? Profit-driven, egotistical. No, I probably shouldn't use some of the adjectives I could use to describe people like Elon Musk and so on. But that's what happens when you give that much profit, that much control in the global economy to one individual, wealthy multi-billionaires, and eventually then we see the sort of jobs massacre that we're seeing anyway. Surely the thing to do is make them pay their taxes now while the going is good, to give us the revenues we need to invest in housing, in health, in key infrastructure, rather than continuing to give them massive tax breaks, deductions, reliefs, tax credits and so on, where they pay a fraction of the tax that ordinary workers pay.
Thank you, Deputy.